Okay, hello everyone, and today I just want to talk briefly about the Peak Design slide light strap. So I have the slide, the larger version in my pocket, so we'll get that out in just a second. But if you've never seen these or something like it, there's a lot of wind right now. I'm just hoping the tree doesn't fall on the barn and crush me, and this will never be uploaded. But let's hope that doesn't happen. So this is a slide light in the black version, and this is the gray. Don't remember the exact color they call it, but it's basically gray. Ash, I think, is what they call it. And this one is black. I like the black one because it has, some red accents on it. And of course, this kind of a steel color buckle on it. But if you haven't seen these, there's an anchor point on the camera. It goes to the where your camera strap normally attaches. And you just basically push in on that red button and it pops out of there. So you have this left on the camera. And they say these hold 200 pounds of pressure, so it should work for larger lenses and so on. But I might, if I had a really big lens, and a camera, the combo that weighed quite a bit, I probably wouldn't use these. That's just my preference. I would probably get a different camera strap that had the wide the wider strap that goes through the loop here, and I just think that would be better off for protection if you've got a couple $1,000 big lens attached to the end of it. But to attach it, you just put it back through this little spot right here where it just kind of slides down in, and you slide it to reattach. So you just put it in there and pull it to attach. But these are really convenient. You could take it off and pretty quickly switch it around if you need to. And if you for me, it's just really taking the strap off is what makes it more appealing to me, just to get the strap off easily. But there are a few things I don't like about it. Not a big deal, but it's just something that you might want to keep in mind. I generally don't like straps that have something that could scratch up my camera because, just doing this as a hobby, it gets kind of expensive, and you want your camera gear to have good resale value. So looking at this, there's this little metal piece on here that you can use to slide to adjust it, so you just slide it up and down as so. So that makes it pretty convenient. But this is, while it's not sharp on the edges, it could, scratch on your camera. This is the Nikon Z7 with the 85mm f1.8 lens. I'll do a little video about that in the near future. But I would rather not have something that could scratch up my camera or the lens. So what I usually do, and it's kind of silly, but when I put this in the camera bag, I'll put it down in the slot and I'll just put these off to the side so that this metal buckle and even this part is not really able to kind of rub on the camera at all. If this is down here rubbing on this lens, this is a metal focus ring. It's not rubberized, and that could scratch the paint off, and then suddenly your resale value went down a lot if you're trying to resell it. But it is convenient and it's comfortable, other than this part here, which I just wish they would make a different version that doesn't really need that little extra piece that pops up like that. And then just make this kind of rubberized around here. And also for this one's not really, it's not really that bad. I don't think would really scratch, but it's just kind of a hard plastic, and just depending on how it sits on your camera, it could rub something, rub the paint off or so on, something like that. But so this, just take this off here. So this is the slide light again. Let me just get the slide out. This one I've actually taken the metal buckle off. This might be the one I had a warranty claim on, because this this rubbery part right here, the black part, if you can see that really well, this kind of, as I was wearing it around my neck, and what I usually do is, like you saw, I usually sling it. But as the sun was shining on this black part, it just kind of bubbled up a little bit, and I think they redesigned it, put some other different material on it, and it was down here is where that happened. So this one I kind of modified because it was already replaced anyway. So I took that metal buckle off for one thing, and I think that's really about it. Just took the metal buckle off. But you can see how wide that one is compared to the slide light. And Also on the slide light, I think this is probably on the newer slide, the larger version. I assume they probably did something like this. I don't know if this is silicone or what that is, this little rubberized grippy material there. So if you flip it over, I guess the idea is that you can sling it on your shoulder without going around your neck diagonally, and that'll kind of help grab onto it and keep it from sliding off. But it is a really stylish strap. So if you can see that, so that's kind of how it looks. And it's plenty long for me to sling it, and what I always do, like I said, I always just sling it like this, you know, not tourist style straight around my neck, but I like to sling it around like this. It's more comfortable. It's still real easy to use, you know, and shoot. And yeah, so there's really not much to say about it other than it's a really nice strap. It's really well made, and they have an easy warranty claim process, since I already, like I said, I already claimed a warranty on one of these, this one here. I believe this is the one. I think if it is, then I've got another full-size slide strap around somewhere. And this, by the way, is what the anchor points look like as they're in the connector there. Yeah, so I've got 3 of them, the slide, and again, I need to go see if I can find the one. I think I had this replaced before. I don't think this is the new one. And the slide light, 2 of the slide lights now. So I've got one for my Z5, one for my Z7. The camera recording me right now is the Z5 with the 24-200. And I think that's really all there is to say about the slide light. There was another brand that came out recently that had some kind of quick disconnect version of this. I can't remember the brand name, but like I said, I would just really, I like this design overall. I just don't like those metal parts that could scratch up my equipment. But you know, again, it was some kind of strap that had a quick disconnector, you know, this little anchor that goes onto the camera, and then another type of quick disconnect. It's different than this, I think, but I can't remember what the brand was. But I've already got 2 of the slides and 1 slide light. And this is comfortable if you don't really have a whole lot of weight, the slide light. There's another one called the leash, which is really small. I think it's only, I'm just estimating maybe a 1/2 inch wide. This one is probably maybe 1 inch wide. And then the slide, you know, I'm just estimating, I'm thinking it's probably like 1.5 inches wide. So this one I used in Yellowstone, the slide, the full-size version on GH5 with a Olympus 12-100 millimeter lens, which is kind of, I won't say heavy, but it is a little bit heavier, probably heavier than my Z7 with the 85 or the Z5 with the 24-200. I think that GH5 12-100 Olympus lens combo was more heavy, and it was just, to use the full-size slide, it was just more comfortable all day. But if I'm just using a smaller camera like this or less weight, and, you know, and I could even go all day with this, it's, you know, the regular slide light, I think it looks better, and it's, you know, it's plenty wide enough to be comfortable most of the day. But if you get into something heavier, then you probably definitely want to get the regular full-size slide. So that's really about it. And again, I'll try to do something on my 85 millimeter Nikon Z-mount lens here, f1.8, which is an excellent lens, really superb optically. So we'll do that sometime in the next week or 2. I need to get some more sample photos from the 85. But that's about it for the Peak Design slide light and the slide. I showed you that too. I should have brought the leash out too, because I've actually got one of those. I think I had that when I had the leash. I'm trying to remember what camera I used that one on. Maybe like an Olympus EM5 and a smaller lens, because it's just, or even it might have had the old Fuji X100 that I used it with, because that's really lightweight. But a really small camera, you could use the leash. But big one, the full-size slide, you know, something in between the slide light and a really small camera, the leash. So, all right, well, that's it, and I'll stop the video, and thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Goodbye.